Good evening on a nice Friday lazy afternoon. I say lazy because it was a long day we had yesterday with India losing by a margin of
a century.
But they kept us awake till very late at night.
And took away all of our predictions. Easy India win indeed.
Yeah. Predictions.
Yes.
So I have got my one prediction right, which will be
2-1.
2-1.
Not said to who. Not said to
as
who.
well.
Yeah.
No, he said 2-1 in favor of England.
Oh.
Later, because you forced me. Earlier I said 2-1.
He said 2-1 in favor of England, and when they came to me, I said 2-1. Simple
We
as
don't
that.
know. So now, whatever said and done, it will be 2-1.
Yes.
So no more 3-0 or any.
No more incoming loading.
So rain, I hope it. But England is going through a heat wave.
Manchester, no rain predicted.
That's a shock.
But England is going through a heat wave.
40 degrees.
40 degrees.
That's what
in England.
has predicted
Yes.
the next week. London,
Terrible.
I think Monday, Tuesday, it's going to be 37, 38.
That's about 45, 46.
London's not
It's
ready for
about
that.
25 right now, and people are sweating.
Thinking about 30.
No, people, yeah. No,
To be
no,
fair-
even 25, they're not
Yes.
able to handle it.
Now, to be fair, in London there's 27, there's a very hot day. And I'm like, I'll kill
No,
for that.
but it is.
Yeah,
But it is.
And the day it was expected to be 32, so we've been watching television since morning, and they've been warning everybody. They said,
Don't go out.
don't go out, carry water bottles, do this, do that. I said, I can't waste a day in terms of the money that we've spent for.
I'm paying pounds
Yeah.
per
So
day.
went out, and it was actually hot.
It is.
32, you feel.
You feel it's 40, 42.
Yeah, there's something. I think because the sun is.
It's thinner,
harsh
no,
or-
thinner air. Higher latitude, that's why you feel much heat. Imagine if they come to Noida, what will they call 49 degrees in.
It's also because of the lack of pollution, actually.
Yeah.
True.
It's also because of the lack of
People
pollution.
keep blaming our pollution. There is a
Oh, yes.
It's a barrier.
Yeah, you go to Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That ozone
Yeah.
skin poisoning really goes to the next level.
people who say that pollution is bad,
We in Delhi NCR do not vouch for that.
Yes. So what is the question today? Why don't you start by asking?
Yes.
Kranti doesn't come very often on Sports Today. What is our topic of discussion?
With,
No, I can-
with
okay.
so much rotation and resting, like we saw Virat Kohli now not going to the West Indies. When will India start playing their full strength core for the World T20?
in the World T20,
Oh,
hopefully the first game. Not like what happened the last time.
yes.
The first game, you went to the World Cup and then you were unsure. You panicked and you changed your batting order the next game and you lost again. So I hope it doesn't
Is
happen.
history repeating itself in the build-up? Looking at the build-up, it seems.
Well, if you look at the early signs,
Yes.
do you see any difference in the approach towards the World Cup? What happened last year? It's a deja vu this year as well.
Yes.
I mean, see, you can give breaks and rest to players, which is fine. But you're also not trimming down the probables.
Yes.
Just adding players like Ravichandran Ashwin has just come in.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
Does he actually stand a chance to be in the World Cup team again?
No.
He was in the World Cup team last year.
But
Did you
didn't
play
get a
him?
game. No, he didn't get a game.
So when you needed him, you didn't have him. You dumped him again, and now you're going back to Ravichandran Ashwin once again. So the point is that I think how good teams must approach events like the World Cup is that they should have their team ready, regardless of whether or not they are able to play them together. But they should at least know their role. Now, why do you want to play your full 11 before the World Cup? Because you would want the number 3 to know what is expected of him,
Yes.
and then the number 4 to react, and 5 and 6 and so on. I'm saying even if they're not playing together, they should at least know that I'm going to be in the 11th, this is going to be my role. So the moment you have Ravichandran Ashwin in, would you make Ravindra Jadeja a bit insecure?
Yes, you are.
absolutely.
Yes.
Kuldeep Yadav, would he think that, oh, I've got no chance at all now?
And
Ravi
that too in the
Bishnoi?
West Indies series, asterisk, subject to fitness.
So I'm not judging Ravichandran
Yuzi
Ashwin.
Chahal.
Yuzi Chahal again, Nikhil, around about this time last year
year,
yeah.
was your frontline bowler.
Yeah.
And then didn't make it to.
And then he was dumped because somebody said you need a leg spinner who could be quicker in the air and off the wicket, and everybody just vetoed that. And they said,
Rahul
okay.
Chahar, come on.
Where is Rahul Chahar now?
I don't know. No, I'm saying UZ Chahar would even be worried. He's not being taken to West Indies. You said, relax.
I just want to ask, why did you not take UZ Chahal? The reason given is, UZ Chahal knows what is expected of him.
Even I think
and
like
we know that he's going to be there. So we want to test Ravi Bishnoi.
Yes.
Because Ravi Bishnoi will not get chances if Chahal is playing.
Yes.
So, but why would you want to give Ravi Bishnoi chances?
No, for the third spinner slot. I think
then play him as the third spinner, no?
No, because the third won't play in the team. So the backup spinner that goes with the team, because Ravi Bishnoi will not get a chance if UZ is there. So I thought, UZ, you are number one. You are going.
You take a break.
No, you are going for sure.
Because you both but see, I'll tell you something. It's not a lottery that I am going. I am going. My seat is confirmed. Cricket is about playing, cricket is about your form, cricket is about your confidence. He picked up 4 wickets yesterday. He's going through a very good phase. Now, let's say hypothetically, if he were to play in Caribbean and if he were to pick 14 wickets in 5 games, would his confidence dip? Would his skill dip?
No.
Or would it go up?
It will go
sitting
up.
at home, not playing international cricket, how do you know that his form, his confidence will go up?
No. I'm not saying that. I agree with you. Confidence will not obviously grow up. He would want more playing time. I'm saying maybe, I don't know, because I've seen Rahul Dravid do it recently. He's put his arm around his shoulder saying that, listen, you are guaranteed, you are going. Though you make a valid point. Last time also, this time before the T20 World Cup, he was your number 1 spinner and suddenly he was
never
removed from
fix
the
something
mix.
that is not broken.
Yeah.
Give them game time.
But that's the problem, that because they are not playing the full-fledged team.
See, Nikhil,
That
you
is
can
the
give
thing.
rest to a player who's playing all the 3 formats. Chahal is not playing any red ball cricket. And, it's not as if you ask him to go back to domestic cricket. What will he do here in July or August?
Yeah, not
There
what
is
will he
no
do.
domestic cricket.
So, much rather have him play in the Caribbean, let him bowl, let him pick wickets. That's how your confidence is built. See, I don't think India is sure as to who their number 3 is going to be.
Yes.
Are they sure about their number 7 right now in T20s?
No. They're not sure about their third spinner. They're not sure about that 5th fast bowler. They're not sure about a lot of things. Like, for example, just few games ago, Umran was the guy. Now Umran is gone. Arshdeep is the guy because he did well in 1 game. So I think they're confused, and I think that is a worrying sign that the Indian team doesn't know when they're going to play. You said maybe play the T20 World Cup. I hope that is not the case, and I hope that you are proven wrong for the sake of India. Yeah, that's. I hope that there is a.
But there is a possibility of that happening, Nikhil, and I'm not wrong
which is
here.
scary, is what I'm saying.
I'll tell you why. You go to the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
You go with your first choice of 11.
Yeah.
With their first choice of roles, and somebody doesn't fit in.
Do you have a
You
plan
have
B
to
or
go to plan B.
Yeah.
And when do you go to plan B? In the World Cup.
Bad timing. Worst timing.
Worst
So
timing.
either you've got to be very, very sure, regardless of whatever happens.
But sir, do
My
you have a
batting
plan?
order is Rahul, Rohit, Virat, Surya, Rishabh Pant or Hardik Pandya. Either be very sure about that. Go to the Asia Cup. Even if all 6 of them do not score even a single run, go to the World Cup with them. You can't tinker midway through the Asia Cup, or you go to the World Cup thinking, oh, he didn't do well in the Asia Cup, so let me try the other one. I mean, this is not how you build your teams. I think Rohit was asked yesterday again, and you could see that irritation on his face, and I can understand that.
About Virat?
Yeah. See, again and again, questions are being asked of Virat. Questions have been asked of Rohit as well.
Yeah.
But just because he scored a 70 in the first game, so obviously
Attention is less.
is more on Virat.
Virat, no? Yeah.
Virat, again, Rohit couldn't have said anything different.
Yes.
But more than anybody else, it'll be Rohit Sharma who would be the most worried.
Yeah, if I was Rohit Sharma, I would be worried because he's my main batter,
Yeah.
Virat Kohli.
Do they have a plan B? I doubt they have a plan B because
No, we don't know the plan A yet.
yes, because
plan B is later.
sir, you're talking about playing your full-fledged team for the Asia Cup. Asia Cup, how many games you'll get? 5 if you reach the final. Then you're reliant on only 3 bilateral series games against Australia and potentially against South Africa.
Yeah.
11 games. if you look at even 2011 World Cup and 2013 World Champions Trophy, didn't the core play together for over 6 months?
I still do not understand the way cricket is being played these days. I remember your Indian team
Yes.
would play much the same team, barring a few bowling changes here and there. Australia, when they were ruling the world, would never drop or rest any player.
Yeah.
The West Indies, and I'm talking about all the two formats. They had just two formats. They had Test cricket and they had one days. Not even one change. You know, for years their batting order would be Gordon Greenidge, Desmond Haynes, Larry Gomes, Viv Richards, Clive Lloyd, Fort Bacchus, and then Bacchus was replaced by Richie Richardson or Logie. That's the way it was, and your bowlers would be Marshall, Holding, Garner, and Roberts. Roger Harper was the spinner, and Jeffrey Dugout. So I don't know why good teams need to keep changing.
They didn't play this much cricket. Now they're saying Indian players play so much cricket.
How much cricket? Let me ask you, Nikhil. How much cricket?
How many test matches they had in those days and how many ODI games in a year?
No, I'm asking you, how many one-dayers has India played in the last 2.5 years?
No, not too many one-days.
So the same India, when there was no IPL, by the way, when there was no IPL, see, IPL is a 2-month window and we look at the IPL because it cramps the schedule.
Yeah.
When does the IPL happen? It happens in April and May. No, it's not exactly off season, because if you look at the Indian cricket calendar, till the end of April, they had
series.
Yes,
but now
and they would go to Sharjah also. They would also go to Sharjah.
Yeah.
So potentially you were playing games in those days as well. India were playing some 25-30 odd ODIs every year before the IPL. And even I think you go back in time, but maybe by till about 2014, 15, 16. So 30 ODIs in a year. They will play about 8-10 test matches in a year. How many games is it?
40 games in total.
Match days?
Close to 80 to 90 days of match.
So what has changed? And those days, the tours would be longer.
Because you would have warm-up games.
And there were no luxuries.
No, but now the way, as there is hardly any gap, you finish one tour, you go to the other tour, you're playing every day. I'm saying more cricket for these guys to play.
Cricket players were also playing county cricket those days.
Yeah, because
4
you
months
have
they'd
the
be on the
luxury.
treadmill. But I somehow feel that I think till a point, the more cricket that you play, the better your skill, the better your confidence, the better your game is.
Acha, answer this. You're saying that you need to play the best team. Completely agree. You start playing the best team right now. In that case, then people might say that you're the guys who raise questions about Virat Kohli and he should be in the team. Why are you doing that? Let India play the best team. The best team will be
The
if
best
there is
team
Gordon
has
Green,
Virat.
Desmond Haynes, Gordon Green, Viv Richards. So that is your team now.
Best team as in
Go with the best team.
It's a very subjective term, relative term.
Yeah.
Best team. Your best team may not be Rohit Sharma's best team. Rohit Sharma's best team may not be Rahul Dravid's best team.
No, but that
Rahul Dravid's best team may not be Chetan Sharma's best team, because there are loopholes. There are a couple of slots where you've tried to put the band-aid and it's not been working.
No, so you compare to that West Indies team and the Australian team. That best team was everyone's best team. It was your best team, my best team, his best team, their selector.
India,
everyone could pick that
even India.
best team.
You had Sehwag, Sachin, Saurav, then you had Rahul.
Yeah.
And then later on you had your World Cup team.
Yuvraj, Dhoni.
Yeah.
You had Sachin, Sehwag,
Kohli.
Gambhir,
Gambhir.
Virat, Yuvraj, Dhoni, Raina. That was your team. So everybody knew. See, you need to rest players. I'm not saying that you don't need to rest players. You need to rest them.
But at the right time.
Now
It
is not
cannot
the
be
time.
stop-start. You take a break, you come back, you keep playing. You don't play a couple of games and then there's another break.
Yeah.
The stop-start never is going to help.
Because when it comes to Virat, let's take a look at this year. He played the West Indies ODI, played 2 T20s but missed one. Didn't play the Sri Lanka T20s, played the tests. Played entire IPL, missed South Africa. Played the test.
That was a month's gap.
Yeah, a month's gap. Played the test. Didn't play the first T20. Played 2 because of the stopover gap. One due to groin injury. This ODI he missed. Now again a gap of 1 month, and the Asia Cup will begin end of August. Is that the right strategy? Because the more, as you say, the more you play, the better he might become. Or in Virat's case,
Maybe Virat knows exactly what's happening with him, his body. And I just don't mean the physical attributes of the body, could be the mental attributes as well. Only the individual knows what his mind is going through. And maybe, you know, there's this case of burnout or whatever, overcooked. If that is true and you're admitting that, the break can do him good.
yes,
Maybe you sort your game out when you don't touch a bat for 20 days. That is actually
No, but
true.
he points out that has happened. It's not helped him.
stop.
I don't know.
like you said. Or is he?
It's happened. He's got those 20 days here.
He had a
Maybe he
break for
needs
like,
another 4 to 5 weeks, like Ashish Nehra just pointed out. Ashish Nehra was very precise. I think he knows Virat. Two people know Virat very well. Ravi Shastri, who was the first one to say that he needs a break,
Yes.
and Ashish Nehra, who said exactly 4 to 5 weeks, and those many days he's gone. Do you think Rohit Sharma would have been happy letting go of this opportunity in the West Indies to play his best 6 batsmen?
No, he wouldn't have been happy. As I said, if I put myself in Rohit's shoes, I would want my best batsman, which Virat Kohli still is, firing on all cylinders. But my point is, and I know and you had mentioned it too, that there was this talk where people wanted him to go to the West Indies. My point is, I would have also liked to have seen Rohit when he was asked that question. You mentioned that he did sound a bit irritated. I think I would have loved it, or maybe it's some sort of compulsion, but I would have loved to have heard his views on this. He may have said that no, I think Virat is too good a batsman. He will get back into form. But I would have liked to have had him in the West
When
Indies.
was the last time an
he would
Indian
have scored
captain
runs.
spoke his mind?
Yeah, exactly.
And if hypothetically Rohit would have spoken his mind, there would have been
Storm.
a storm, a tsunami in India.
Tsunami, you're right.
You know how the country is divided now into 2, not 3.
Yes.
Fortunately, it used to be Viratians, MSDians, and the Rohitians. So now we've just got to deal with 2, Rohitians and Viratians.
And the Samsonites. Justice for Sanju.
There are people asking in the comments even now, by the way. Justice for
Please
Sanju
take
Brigade
this
was
comment,
strong.
please. I'll read Chandresh Narayanan's comment. He's saying, Paji, Nikhil is very pro-Virat and Sid is very anti-Virat. Please help us viewers and give us balance. And shout out to Cricket Chronicles with Chandresh.
I think Cricket Chronicles with Chandresh just touched 1 million subscribers.
Oh,
Congrats to Chandresh for the hard work that he's put in and the money that he's spending to boost his channel as well. It's a wonderful channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just that he doesn't call us anymore.
Yes.
And because he's touched 1 million subscribers, I think I was among the first ones to be on his channel when he had some 30 odd subscribers. Good journey, Chandresh. See, Chandresh, that's the problem. Because anything that you say becomes anti or pro subject in our country, and not just cricket, not Virat, Rohit. I think it's everywhere. There are just 2 shades available now, black or white. There are no shades in between. That's a problem because all of us are actually divided. And we see the shade, not see to perceive the shade as we want it to be. So that's the problem. I think discussion on Virat's form is needed. You can't close your eyes and just sit back and relax and think, sab theek ho jayega. I wish it were so easy. Sab theek ho jayega. But cricket is a very funny game. You know, even the great Sachin Tendulkar could not fix it.
Yes.
When the switch was off, he could not manually go and switch it on back again. It took him 1 year.
1 year.
And again, because it's Virat and the expectations that we have from him, I have decided from now on, I will not talk about the gap, the period that has gone by since he scored a century. I don't think it is about a century because for Virat, every second game we were expecting a century only.
Yeah.
But it's not about a century anymore. It's about Virat being comfortable.
Yes.
It's Virat being in that zone.
Wouldn't be
And-
himself also. He doesn't look like himself when he's batting most of the time. A shadow of himself, you could say.
See, again,
Or perhaps, why not advocate this line, okay? Virat is in the midst of a slump. wouldn't the bowlers would now relish the opportunity to keep him down?
See, Butler said yesterday, he's a human after all. So it's reassuring to find that he's like
human.
like Butler and everybody else. And Butler is also going through a horrible time.
Yes.
Yeah.
After
He's
post
also
IPL,
his
post
horri-
IPL, he's had.
But his horrible time started now. I'm surprised that Butler has taken 2.5 years to figure out that Virat is human. I thought he may have realized it a year ago.
Maybe
that he's human.
he wasn't asked this.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He wasn't asked this. See, what happens is that the kind of attention, the microscope that you would have on people like Virat, where each and every move would be scrutinized. I think what has happened is that great players also do not just look at the runs that they're getting. It's the manner in which I'll get the runs, because I want to tell the world that I'm Virat. You would want to superimpose yourself. You'll have that batsman's ego, the champion's ego, and that at times could be his nemesis. If you look at yesterday and look at the pattern in this entire England series, they would feed him half volleys.
Yes.
So he would hit good cover drives and straight drives, and then he would be committed on the front foot, and they'll just
Hold the length back slightly and then get it in that channel edge.
we were discussing day before, it's not the fourth stump line anymore.
Sixth
Yeah.
stump.
See, fourth stump, even the great Don Bradman would have failed. Fourth stump line is something else. This is the sixth and the seventh.
stump line, yes.
Yeah.
And like Nikhil said the other day, when spinners come on, so Virat somehow finds different ways of getting out, which means that maybe he needs that break. You know, if you look at it from his perspective, maybe he needs that break. Maybe he needs to stay away from that bat for 20 days. Because what happens is the mistakes that you make, they start forming into habits.
Yes.
And when you go out to bat, your hands feel stiff, your mind says something else, your body does something else. So maybe it's that case.
Yep.
Maybe, you know, when we dissect his technique and all, maybe we overdo things.
Yeah.
Maybe cricket and batting will become simpler and easier once again for him.
Let's take a
But
few questions.
there's a big if. That's the problem.
Okay, there's a few questions. Rahul Java, why don't you read it? Vikrant is asking you.
So he says, India Shreyas Iyer में और क्या देखना चाहता है? No disrespect to him, but he doesn't look international quality in any format. Hope he isn't selected based on the slow pitches in West Indies. Very bad selection.
Your take?
The two ways of looking at it, I wouldn't be this harsh on Shreyas. I'll tell you simply why. There is a problem. Everyone has spoken about his short pitch delivery issue. But I think if I look at his numbers, they've been outstanding in international cricket. How on the basis of that can I tell Shreyas Iyer that no, you will not be part of it? Because I have seen that you have this weakness against short pitch delivery. Shreyas Iyer might say that fine, then you explain the numbers. I may have that weakness and every batsman has that weakness, but I found a way to overcome it and I've got runs. I think he's got one of the best, we were looking at white ball numbers, one of the best record for any Indian batsman alongside KL Rahul in the opportunities that he's got in the last few years. Now whether he decides to score off spinners more than fast bowlers, whether he decides to not attack the short pitch delivery and only the deliveries that come in his zone, but that's his way of playing. So long as he's getting runs.
And he'll learn. I agree with the fact that he'll learn. Maybe Shreyas Iyer won't be on the plane to Australia if only 15 are selected. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Correct.
But again, are you sure of the 15 that you're taking? Are you sure of your batting?
No.
At this
Are
point,
you
they're not
are you
sure
sure
of the
about
20.
Ishan? Are you sure about the others?
No.
Are you sure about Rishabh Pant, Dinesh Karthik? So if there is an if attached to almost every batsman,
Yeah.
Shreyas is just one of the many.
one of the many.
And again, he's getting the opportunity to get runs. I think as Indian
Sure,
fans,
next one.
we should welcome Shreyas Iyer getting runs rather than
Mr. Chandresh is on fire today.
Yes.
He says, Lalit Modi has found Shushmita Sen. Who are each of your dream dates?
So we'll start with you.
Okay. I was actually going to say Sushmita.
Yeah.
Childhood crush. So,
Arre wah. Nikhil?
Mine
Other
would
than
be-
Ravina Tandon?
Chitrangada Singh.
Oh,
Chitra.
should have. been coming to Gurgaon regularly.
No,
those
I've been
days.
to their house.
She was my neighbor.
Wow.
I've been to that house, that
Our
penthouse.
cars were parked next to each other for many years.
Wow.
No, I've been to that house, the penthouse.
And very
on top.
simple lady. Very simple. Even Jyoti.
Jyoti
Yes.
on the-
So I had gone to interview Jyoti in the penthouse on top.
Yeah.
And I was on the second floor. They had a penthouse.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah. Now they moved.
They have moved.
Yes.
She's in Bombay. He's in Gurgaon.
No, she's also some days in Gurgaon.
No,
on Insta.
Yeah, I know. And she comes for some days.
I stalk her on Insta. She has got a nice, good house in Gurgaon.
They've got a
where-
villa. They've
Yeah, villa. Yeah, where you can see her playing with her dog.
I'll show you the villa. You come to my
okay.
place. I'll show you the villa.
No, in fact, I met Jyoti, not in an interview, he's a biker too. So once or twice I bumped into him in Gurgaon at an early morning
They've got a
breakfast
son,
ride. Yes.
Zoravar.
So the son was with him on the...
So Zoravar and my younger son were friends.
Ah.
Sure, Dhawan's son's also called Zoravar, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now to you. If you were a
I've
woman,
had
I would
many.
know who you would pick.
I've
That would be
had-
Devanand. But guys,
By that logic, it should be Madhubala or
Madhubala,
Wahida
oh.
Rahman if it is Devanand.
no, but contemporary now. Be contemporary. That's what Chandresh wants.
I like this female, this actress Kiara Advani a lot.
Kiara.
A lot.
Wow. Pre-contemporary, it would have been Vaijayanti Mala.
Oh,
And now in the current era,
he's true to his South Indian roots. Always.
Konkona.
Konkana Ascension. Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, very interesting. I hope Chandresh, you've got your answer.
Page 3.
Things, things that you make us do on sports today. Yes, Shivam, can we go back
More.
to a few more
Comments.
super-
Yeah. Let's just.
Chandresh, do drop in who you, because you will have a tough time choosing.
Yeah.
So, since you are fond of so many actresses, please drop in your comments as well. Who would be your dream date?
So Divi is asking.
Divi is asking you, Vikrant.
If other spinners will not play, how would you finalize your backup spinner?
That
Yuzi's
Yuzi-
rest is the right decision.
Well, that's what the selectors would have felt and conveyed to Yuzi Chahal.
Yeah.
But I would have played Yuzi Chahal and maybe looked at the second spinner and replaced him.
Shivam.
Maybe. And maybe given the second or the third spinner a couple of games.
To be fair, that's what happened in Ireland. Remember?
But then
Yuzi sat out-
Ravichandran Ashwin, again, if he is part of the team, would you just want to have a look at him or do you know what he can do? I fail to understand. If you take Ravichandran Ashwin to the Caribbean, you must take him to Australia and play him in the 11.
Yes.
He's Ravichandran Ashwin, yaar. He's,
No, but how do you fit him in now?
so why do you have him now?
Is he better than Yuzi Chahal? Is he better than Ravindra Jadeja?
Why do
in
you
terms
have
of
him now?
utility?
I'm
as surprised as you
If
are.
I'm Ravichandran Ashwin, I'd be very, very bitter about the way that he's been treated.
Yeah.
They just carry him as a passenger.
Yeah.
They go to England, they don't play him. They go to
No, that was a wrong decision.
Yeah.
In Test
Cloud
cricket, he should
cover
have played.
always spoils
But then you can't mix formats. As in, is he been your best three spinners in the T20 format? And I think I'm not
Then
taking
you
IPL as a
should have-
benchmark, but it's an indication.
But see, by that logic, why don't you have Shikhar Dhawan in your T20 teams? You take him to Caribbean, give him an opportunity.
No, but-
If Ravichandran Ashwin is being considered,
Yes, I agree.
why can't Shikhar Dhawan be considered then?
No, but then two wrongs don't make right. I agree with you.
Why
I
even
think
do one
both. Yes, I am with you. That one right also wrong shouldn't have been done.
Yeah.
You are just, and already we are
Nishant
discussing.
Thakur has a
why
question.
we
He
are
says
struggling.
Vikrant never wanted Virat Kohli in his T20 team. I feel that Virat's form has deteriorated because of the media.
Wow.
Firstly, they put on pressure on him for scoring century, and due to this, his form has gone
You must
down.
feel like
Sir, we
very
should have a
empowered.
breaking news.
I think the second point may be partly correct, but if you really think that the first one
Then you must
is
be
true, then
privileged. Very
then I
powerful.
carry a privilege card. And Virat plays for India, boss. I don't know what's your age, Nishant, but I have been an Indian cricket fan since 1979 when Pakistan came to India. So,
When Zahir Abbas.
and Virat again started playing in 2008.
Yep.
I don't know what makes you believe that I do not want him in the T20 team. The fact is that on television, 70% of the time devoted was for Kohli. Why? Because he was a champion batsman and he scored runs.
Yeah.
What I said last year was after the World Cup in Dubai that India need to alter their T20
Yes.
and maybe shed the old skin.
Yep.
And if Virat is not the captain, then maybe he won't be in the 11. I thought then that India would want to change their style of play. They haven't.
They haven't.
They haven't.
No, it makes sense.
No, they've kind of now begin to change. If you saw
Just
what we
before the
saw,
World Cup.
now they're beginning to play like that, and I think Rohit is mentioning that we want to play like that. But again, the proof of the pudding is in its eating, so we'll find out going forward.
Again,
whether
as you
that
had said,
happens
no
or not.
sample
Alok
size.
Padi is also right. Rishabh Pant should also be under the scanner.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
not done anything.
We devoted a lot of
White
time
ball
talking
cricket,
about
not
Rishabh
just
Pant.
T20 cricket.
Yeah, we spoke about Rishabh Pant last
did,
night in
yeah.
the show, that even he's
Harshit Reddy is saying, Nikhil brother, when KL Rahul batted in the middle order for India, in 11 innings, he had an average of 60 with a
Yeah.
strike rate of 110. I think when KL comes back, he'll walk into the middle order in ODIs. In his last
ODI, West
he was
Indies
playing at,
no, actually.
I think he's talking about the ODIs, not
Yes,
the
yes.
ODI.
And he's right there, because we were just trying to make the ODI team going forward. So there is no way that you leave out a Shikhar Dhawan
Yes.
and a Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
And so you will have to play. And KL Rahul has been your best white ball batsman recently, we saw. So you'll have to play him, and I think he comes into the middle order, because we were trying to make the team and it was very, very tough. Because imagine we struggle to make the T20 team. ODI it gets tougher because Shikhar comes into the mix. So KL might play there. I don't know whether that will happen, and that's why we spoke in regards to Rishabh. Maybe he finds his mojo, but if he does not, and if you have to fit in KL, maybe India goes back to that plan which they said when Virat was captain, and Virat mentioned that maybe KL would be asked to keep wickets. But I think it's too early to speak about
that's
that.
the problem.
Yeah.
Nikhil, that's the problem that Indian cricket is facing right now. You've got too many options,
Yeah.
you got too many theories, but you're not close to finalizing any in any of the formats.
Yes.
I agree.
You're not sure about your T20s, you're not
Sure,
sure about
niche
your
hai.
ODIs.
Yep.
So that's the problem. You've got the players, but life is never only about the resources.
Yes.
It is also about the resourcefulness. I think there lies the problem.
I had said that rest and rotation, how BCCI implements that will be the key heading into this World T20. with
I think
each
rest
passing
rotation
day.
basically more so should be for faster bowlers.
Yes.
The batsmen would ideally should be wanting to play.
Yeah.
They should be wanting to play.
Because when was the last time, if you can just jog your memory back, Rohit, Rahul, like the team that we are all agreeing on, Rohit, Rahul, Virat, Surya, Hardik, Pant. That's our agreed top 6 for
Dubai
the
first game last year against Pakistan.
1 year. 1 year.
Yeah.
We haven't played with that same coach.
Even in that tournament, the next game you changed your batting order.
Ishan Kishan came in.
So that's the point.
And with only 11 potential games remaining after the West Indies.
नहीं आप
two
बताओ ना
small
यार,
sample size.
you the fans should tell us whether or not we are right or wrong.
Yeah. I can't recollect when Rohit, Rahul, and these four
The so-called
guys,
best
Virat,
team, basically.
Surya,
Yeah.
Hardik, Pant, when did they play
No,
together?
that's the reason we raised this
Yeah.
question. And Sankalp Sahu says that many former cricketers and others were trolling you so much when you raised question on Rohit's fitness before the Australian tour. And see from
No, that was before the English tour in 2018.
Acha, he's written Australian
18,
tour.
18.
And from there on, the Indian cricket team has not been the same an all event.
Sankalp, it is very difficult to report from from the studios.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're traveling with the team, you know a lot because you see and you can judge. So we are handicapped to an extent. But I was at the World Cup 2019, and honestly, a day before the semi-finals, I somehow felt that the Indians were taking it lightly. So were the media also
Yes,
and the
yes,
fans.
Yes.
They did not have practice.
Yeah.
They didn't play against a left-arm fast bowler. They just came out. The match went into the second day. Then we collapsed. And then we said, 30 minutes of madness.
Yes.
We did not
madness in
introspect.
2017 and 19.
We did not introspect. We did not introspect after the last year's World Cup as well.
Yes.
And then Champions Trophy he talks about,
Yeah.
2017
Yeah.
also.
And
Same
even
thing.
2021, opening spell, Shaheen, left arm.
Why is it that on big occasions, in a game labeled as must win, in an ICC or any other tournament, why is it that your batsmen don't get runs?
Yeah.
Even yesterday, I think your bowlers did fairly well.
Yeah,
246.
that target was chaseable.
Oh yes,
Very
there was a
chaseable.
catch which was dropped and this and that. 246.
Yep.
had to score those runs.
With that batting pedigree, you should have.
The first game was also won by the bowlers, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 2 T20 games were also won by the bowlers, by the way. And the one that you lost is because your bowling was
Inexperienced.
and you lost because of that.
Yes.
And there also, one batsman was trying to match up to the English. Just one.
Yep.
Okay, we have to wrap up because we have some other.
So many that,
Yes.
and in between, I need 2 minutes for
Yes,
that also.
so we're wrapping up. I'm just going to take one final question from Yuk Parmar. Akshay Khiste, thank you for your kind comments. Yuk Parmar, your question we're taking is saying, I have a simple question. What do you all think from your heart? Will Virat be in the T20 World Cup squad? If yes, why? If no, why? I don't think we'll have time to elaborate. So one line answer, let's start
Yes.
with Shiv. Yes?
Yes.
Why? One line?
Because I don't think, unless something drastic happens, that they're dropping him at this point.
Yes, big game experience.
Yes, because he's Virat Kohli. And because he's Virat Kohli,
That's loaded, huh? So explain.
because he's Virat Kohli, and the team wants him, and the team would want him in Australia for the experience and everything. In spite of the team or the management or the selectors perhaps not wanting him to take break, he's taken a break. So precisely for that reason, Virat would be in your 11 in the first game at number 3.
I'd have to agree with all of them. I think he will be there.
Nothing more to add.
Yeah, in the
Nothing
words
more
of MS Dhoni, nothing more to add. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for giving us company on Sports Today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Press the bell icon. That's when you know whenever we've got a new video up. For the moment, bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow. बोलो no बोलो बोलो आप बतो ना you
There we
heard
go.
Shivam also.
You heard Shivam.
Okay, thank you and vanakkam.
Vanakkam.